All right, Shalom boys here. Well, here on the land, and we just now got to finish putting in a good day's work on the land, just doing various projects. And I wanted to come to you to talk about the covenant contracting apprenticeship program that I'm doing this summertime. And this is my apprentice here, Brother Kobe, and he's a local high school student. And for the past couple of years, I've been, just mentoring him and teaching him the tricks of the trade because, in the hour that we're living in, we need our young men to have real skills. We need to encourage them to have real skills. We need to teach them and lead them and guide them. Excuse me. And there's a lot of people on social media that's running their mouth and that's talking the talk, but there's very few people that's in a position that's going to walk the walk. And we need people that's going to show fruit and that's going to invest in the younger generation. And so that's what I've been doing. He's a local football star. I keep on saying that because I bring him on job sites. And, the last time I brought you out last summer, and it was like, isn't it that the local football player? Yeah, so, he's in the football. He's getting it done, and, he stays out of trouble. He has an excellent spirit. Me, I'm not messing around with anybody that doesn't have an excellent spirit. And this young man, I can vouch for his character. And on the side note, be careful whose character you vouch for, who you say is a man of honor and integrity, and they turn out that they're not, because that's a stain on you and your character. But you hear what I'm saying? Just be careful who you back the wrong horse. You know what I'm saying? And these are the kind of things that I'm teaching this young man. And it's not only about swinging a hammer, but it's about understanding how to navigate through life and understand how to receive and apply good sound wisdom and doctrine in his life. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the local football star, young man Kobe. And, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, reiterate what he said. Just been working with him a couple of years and, doing jobs here and there in my summer, time off whenever I can. Mm-hmm. And just learning skills that I'm going to use in my life, outside of the classroom, day-to-day life, something breaks in the house, I'm going to be able to fix it. And, not just that, but, skills to take care of my family and, raise the family that I'm going to have one day. And not only that, but, make money to support the family that I have now. Mm-hmm. And that's just, the main thing for me is family.
Excellent spirit this young man has. And we look for your support. We look for your support. And anybody that's going to support him in his endeavors, as I go ahead and train him, or we're going to be getting him a tool belt and things of that nature. Anything that you can cash out for us, because we got money for foolishness. We got money for weaves, and we got money for weaves, and we got money for Glenn Finnick, and we got money for lace fronts, and we got money for BBLs and stuff, but we ain't got no money to support a single mother son as he wants to learn a real skill. Because, I talk more all the time about, the concept of football, and football is great. He's excellent at it. But, I always stress to him, that's not the thing that you want to, plan your whole life around, if you understand what I'm saying. You want to have, it's good to pursue that, but you want to have real skills to back it up. Because then you'll end up, I showed you stats of that guy, you know what I'm saying, the football stats. And based on those stats that I showed you of that football player, what kind of football player would you say he was?
No good.
Now this is a person that understands football. He's a local football player, and so he can look at the stats of somebody by their fruit, and you can tell if they were a good football player or they're not good for a good football player. And what's some of the signs of a person, and this is discernment, what are some of the signs of a good football player or a person that's not a good football player?
Like their total career tackles and sacks being below a certain margin.
Mm-hmm.
And he bounced between a lot of teams.
So a person that bounces between a lot of teams also, that what does that show?
Usually they're not, like the greatest. Like, if a team, if they had a really good player, they'd want to hang on to him as much as they could. So usually with the best players, you see them, towards the tail end of their career, bounce to one or two other teams. But when you got somebody sporadically moving every year and getting released, it's a pretty good indicator that they're not the greatest football player. Got
you. So, this is, and this all goes to fruit. This all goes to track record. You see what I'm saying? Because, we're all judged based on our track record. To determine whether or not we're of a quality or we're not of quality. So, and it's good because I learned a lot just by talking to him about stats and understanding football and stuff. But, it's important to understand these things. But this young man, he has an excellent spirit. I've been working with him and hey, man, top notch young man. So, this is a part of the Covenant mentorship program, and we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for sponsors because, hey, Gas, I got to pick them up and drop them off and stuff like that. But also, he can use Federal Reserve notes to put a couple of extra dollars in his pocket. And hey, man, I'll match those dollar for dollar. But this is what we're doing. I think it's a good thing. He comes from a single parent household. He's, his mom. I've met his mom on several occasions. She just wants to do the best for her son. But, he needs good mentorship. He needs male role figures that's going to teach him. And not to say that you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? But, the idea is that he can use as much as he can in different areas to empower him because he's excited about having a family one day. And he doesn't want to be in a situation where he cannot provide for his family. And so you can just see the excellent spirit in this man that we need to support this young man. I'll put the Cash App in the description. But and all of the proceeds, was going to go to supporting this man and his skill set and developing it. We need to not only be hearers, but doers only. Because we have this situation where, these young men, they need our support. And this is why I'm so big on being a doer and showing fruit, as opposed to getting up on YouTube or Facebook and running my mouth and sounding all pious and sounding like I care about people. And it's sad. It really is sad. It really is a sad thing. But we need to be people that's going to be doers and not hearers only. Not vain talkers deceiving the hearts of the simple. But we appreciate you. Anybody that's going to support. The Cash App is going to be in the description below. $5, $10, whatever you can give to help this young man. And I'm going to be picking him up. On a weekly basis, and so we can have some Federal Reserve notes in his pocket, help out his mom, get some clothes for the fall and everything like that. All of these things are critical, and this is what we can do to help. So, with that being said, shalom, and y'all have a blessed day. Anything you want to say, and any appreciation or anything you want to give out to anybody else?
I guess thank you to all those who, decide to donate, and even those who don't, for giving us your time and watching this video.
Excellent spirit, ain't that? All right, shalom.